Overwatch. How does this game stack up now? Well, let's talk about that. Hey, what's going on, geeks? Maxusthebeast is here, and welcome back to Overwatch. Now, I know I'm not actually playing the game, and I know I said that I was going to have a video up about the new hero Baptiste. But here's the thing. You see, Battle.net here, for some reason, refuses to initialize the loading for the update for Overwatch. So the update with Baptiste won't update. It won't download for whatever reasoning. It's really weirding me out and it's making me upset, so hopefully it will fix itself eventually. But in the days leading up to the update's release, I decided to get back into Overwatch and practice playing it again. So when I would jump back in as Baptiste and do the actual recording for the video, I wouldn't be so out of touch. And I must say, I've actually had an absolute blast playing the game. Even though I'm still kind of rusty. Although, even between all this time, my habits in playing the game still haven't changed all too much. I still am more than willing to fail healer or whatever the team needs if I have to. And honestly, I kind of have fun playing support now. I enjoy playing Mercy. I've gotten decent at Ana, and I'm trying out Moira a bit more. And I'm gonna give, of course, I'm gonna give Baptiste a fair go round too, especially since from the gameplay I've watched of him, his gameplay style seems like something I might enjoy. But I am definitely more than willing to fail. My habits, as far as that goes, still haven't changed. But there's still some stuff that I have, yet to really do. I'm still very out of touch with some things. I can't be expected to be perfect, especially being first time back into it in a while. But I've actually had a lot of fun playing the game again. But I think everyone in the Overwatch player base has realized that Overwatch has been suffering a bit recently after Fortnite's release. Because, well, Fortnite seemed to kill everything for whatever reasoning. Which is kind of disappointing because there's plenty of games that are a lot better than Fortnite. So, yeah. The game is still populated by a lot of people, for sure. But it seems to be a bit less now that since Fortnite's been eating up the world. So that is kind of disappointing. It is very disappointing actually, because Overwatch is still on my top 10 favorite games list because I absolutely adore it. It's a lot of fun, especially to play with friends. And it's just a lot of fun just to jump in and play a few rounds. It's addictive after a while. And it feels good leading a team to victory. It feels good working with people. And I still have yet to get back into competitive. I still intend to do so, but, it's kind of hard to do so when the game refuses to update. So, that's fun. But, being back in, it sort of feels like I never left. Playing my former mains like Reaper, which has received plenty of buffs recently, and the community's kind of toxic about Reaper now, which is kind of meh. But I don't think Reaper could ever be as overpowered as he was for a few months back in 2017 when they had the full Vampire Reaper going at top of its game, because that was absolutely insane. Trying to counter it was near impossible, which made it incredibly fun to be a Reaper main. Because it did take skill to get you where you needed to be, at least in my opinion. Because, maybe it's because I just got good at being Reaper. I don't know. But it just felt like it was sort of a bit skill-based for it to work. I don't know. But Reaper's been buffed. May of all characters has been buffed, which has been an absolute pain in the keister to deal with, but You know, what can you say? Hopefully the most overpowered character in this game gets freaking nerfed. Oh wait, no, Bastion's still kicking and it still is kind of painful to deal with. He's still very stupidly powerful and still a no skill character that can literally camp and do nothing the entire game. It's not fun to deal with. It's not innovative. Yeah, cool, transforming robot. Doesn't matter when the character is literally so unbalanced that if someone was going to be walking across a tightrope, they'd fall off within seconds. But there's still plenty of tense moments to have regardless of broken characters like Bastion and Mei. So, it's not like the game's unplayable. It's just that it's a bit harder to really enjoy yourself at times when characters like Mei are causing problems. And it's no secret that from the entirety of Overwatch's existence, one of the biggest issues with the game is the toxicity found in competitive modes. You know, it's become like a meme that Overwatch has just been known for its outright toxicity, which is disappointing because, you know, one of the biggest parts of any game like Overwatch is communication with team and teamwork. You can't have teamwork when someone's constantly yelling at each other. You know? But toxicity is something that I've dealt with personally. I've been toxic at times, and I don't know a single person in their entire life who hasn't been toxic at a video game at least once. But that doesn't excuse it either. So I'm hoping in time, you know, it's going to be really hard to do, especially since the people who stuck around, who are still considered really good at the game, can be very toxic sometimes. But, you know, I'm kind of worried about the state of the game as far as that goes, as far as toxicity goes. It hasn't changed much. The player base is still pretty toxic, especially when the people who've been sticking around for a while play competitive. Because from what I've heard from a friend who has gotten back into competitive gameplay, the toxicity seems to have gotten worse. Which, like I said, is very disheartening and disappointing. I can only hope that with time and patience, somebody can come to some sort of agreement and make the toxicity a bit better. I mean, I guess you can't really fix an entire player base, and I'm more than sure that I'm not even sure. I know as a fact from my own competitive experience, and I played during Season 5, which the community has dubbed as the most toxic season. And I know that even during the toxicity of Season 5, I've matched into plenty of games with good teams, both my team and the enemy team, where regardless of win or lose, everyone had a decent to good attitude and just was not not a jerk about, you know, existing. So regardless of if a person was performing well or whatnot, and if you were like absolutely horrible, like you just got the game pretty much, you know, you get some flack for that, of course. That's kind of expected. But you weren't torn to pieces either, at least in the younger levels like bronze and silver, which is where I played on PC, because I got into gold and I almost got to platinum on PS4. But PC is a lot harder than PS4. While it's easy to aim and such, everyone is on the same playing field, and everyone is pretty skilled at the game. Or at least mostly everybody. But all in all, even during Season 5, I matched with plenty of teams that weren't toxic, and that consisted of plenty of decent people. Now, if you go back in time and watch some of my old Overwatch videos from 2017, you'll see that I've matched with some pretty questionable people sometimes, like the one where I had to match with two kids who queued together and have been who are absolutely obnoxious the entirety of the game. But you of course have the occasional game like that, and I think every game that has the ability to have voice chat and whatnot will have the occasional weird team with weird people on it. It's kind of it's an inevitability. But I've still dealt with toxicity even in quick play now. But like I said, that's kind of expected for any online game that has voice chat. You'll encounter weird people, you'll encounter toxic people. Doesn't excuse it, but you just gotta expect it. But as far as, has this game entertained me, even after all this time? My answer to that will be, heck yeah. I've had a good time playing the game recently, and other than the fact that the game refuses to update for some reason, I've had no issues with it. Yeah, people can be obnoxious sometimes when they're constantly yelling at each other, either over voice chat or in-game chat, but it could be a whole lot worse. And that's kind of the attitude you have to go in with, like, hey, this is kind of obnoxious to deal with, but it could be a heck of a lot worse. So, yeah, it's still far from perfect, but yes, I will still say that Overwatch has entertained me. And I've had a blast getting back into it. And I look forward to trying out Baptiste as soon as the game updates. So, there's my little tirade about Overwatch. And as far as Baptiste video goes, I will get it out as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully gonna fix this whole Overwatch refusing to update thing. But anyway guys, apologies for the lack of Baptiste. Thanks again for watching, and as always, Maxusthebeast is out.